It's definitely been a minute since I put a bed frame together, and we received this upholstered platform bed frame from Garvey. So I thought I would put together a bit of a how-to instructional tutorial on the assembly for this bed. The instruction booklet I did find quite helpful. There was one area, actually two, that I kind of had a hard time understanding, and I will share that as the video goes on. There are only two legs that come with the bed because the other legs, so to speak, are the headboard itself. As for packaging, 10 out of 10. Everything was really well protected, and this is a lighter color upholstery, so I didn't have any marks or discolorations. Everything was individually packaged, which is amazing. The headboard comes in 3 different pieces for the rectangular top and then 2 pieces for the legs. These here are the side rails, and they do have the upholstered material on them. What I really love about these is that you can see the inner part of the rail where you put the slats. It has a Velcro strip, so this actually sticks to the Velcro that's on the slats, so they can't move around when you're on the bed, which is amazing. This is the first time I've seen this. You will get a few smaller little metal pieces, and this is for the interior stabilization of the base of the bed. You will also receive a few longer black metal rails, and this is for the back of the headboard, and also to brace the headboard below where the legs are. They are all numbered, and the numbers correspond with the directions, so that's extra helpful. Slats come zip tied together, so I would just leave those for last and don't cut them open until you're ready to put them on, or else they're kind of cumbersome to move around. Finally, once I had everything unpackaged and the box was empty, I was ready to start putting the frame together. The bed comes with all the hardware that you need, plus some, and also 2 Allen keys, so if there's 2 people working on it, you can get it done twice as fast. In the box of hardware, there are other black pieces of metal stand that is for the middle of the frame on the bottom as well. So this is what the floor looked like after I got all the pieces out of the box. I like to kind of lay everything out because then I can kind of eye where everything is for when I'm following the directions. The first part of the assembly is to put the headboard together, so that's what I got started with. When you're assembling the headboard, you have to put the upholstered side down on the ground to start putting the hardware in at the back, so I would just make sure that your floor is clean because it is a light color and it could easily pick up, anything dirty on the floor. These 3 pieces to the headboard, they fit together perfectly. They line up really well. I want to give a tip for this part. When you're putting the hardware in on the legs for the headboard, I actually thought that maybe the holes were not lined up properly, but it actually turns out that you have to really push the 3 pieces together because that fabric is a little bit poofy. So once you get someone to push the 3 pieces and kind of like squish them together, the holes line up perfectly. Just as a side note, this is what the bag of hardware looks like, and it's all sectioned with the different sizes of pieces, and they all have a letter assigned to them so you know what goes where. Once my help arrived, I pushed the frame towards the wall so that it would squish the 3 pieces together, and then my husband could put the screws in. So after you get the 2 legs of the headboard on and the middle connector piece, you can start building the more bottom frame area with the metal pieces. This is the first part of the directions that confused me a little bit. It says 50% means the screw no need to be tightened. So I really was having a hard time comprehending on what to do. When you realize what those screws are for, they hold the rails, and the rails have a piece of hardware on them that just slide over top of the screws, and that's how they're secured. I was so happy with this. This is a very pretty headboard. I was kind of getting made fun of here for not understanding the directions and why the screws didn't need to be tight, but once you move along with the directions and you understand what it's for, it all makes sense. There's probably also a little bit of a language barrier thing too, which is totally understandable. This was another area here where the screws only need to be like 50% tightened because there's a piece of hardware that's going to be used with it. After I was finished that, I moved on to more of the frame part of the bed. By now, everyone was very interested in what I was doing. I found it easiest to lay out all the side rails and then go from there. Once you have the side rails lined up, you can kind of envision putting the middle of the frame together. So that's what I did next. There are 2 leg stands that go on either side of the middle of the frame, as well as like a T-stand that goes in the middle where the slats actually get screwed into, and then a bar that goes from one side to the other side of the bed. What I have in my hands now are the feet for the end of the bed. The feet are adjustable, and there is a bracket that gets screwed on top of the foot. You can take the plastic tip off the end and then put the foot through the hole in the bracket and then put the cap back on. These screws that I'm putting into the end of this rail are where this bracket is going to hook into. So this is one of the examples where you only want to have it actually, this one's 75% screwed After I get the bracket in, I usually tighten up the screws just a little bit, just so that they're snug. This is the exact same thing on the other side. So the bracket goes into those loosened screws, and then you can give them a little tighten if you want to. Now that the bottom end is done, I move back up to the top end where the headboard legs are, and these screws are 50% tightened so that the hardware can slide in and be supported by these screws. This is the bracket for the left side of the bed that goes into the left leg of the headboard. And you do the same thing on this side. You just slide that bracket over top of the 50% 100% tightened screws on the headboard leg. So now I have majority of the frame put together. I am going to go ahead and put the small rail on the end together that adjoins the two rails at the foot of the bed. So the screws that you have on the end piece for the bed will slide into that piece of hardware that you have from when you put the foot together. So this is where I made a mistake. I actually struggled here with lining up the hardware and the screws, and I didn't find out until a little bit later why I struggled with it. So after I get the middle of the frame put together, you will see what mistake I made. That T-bracket that I just picked up goes in the middle of the bed and helps support the longer rails that you see here. The two longer rods that go in the middle of the bed and attach to the headboard area and the footboard area have like almost like a fork end, and they slide down over the screws that are in that area. This is where that T-bar comes into place. It supports those two long middle rods, and they are held together by a B screw on either side. The last part of this frame is number 7, and it's one of the metal rods, and it goes from the middle of the bed from rail to rail. And it is secured in place by that T-bracket in between the other two rods that you attach to the T-bracket. And lastly is to attach a C screw in the middle there. There's actually one more thing for these. There is a B screw that goes into either side by the bed rail, and that secures it to the bed rail. So this is actually where I now realize that I made a mistake. It's hard to see in the video, but that bottom rail that attaches to the middle of the footboard, it was really sloped downward, so the mattress would not sit flush. So I had to figure out what I did wrong. So I tried raising the bottom legs, but they would not go nearly high enough to make the bed flush. So I tried putting the wooden slats on to see if maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was, and it was definitely a big deal. Like the wooden slats, they didn't even touch this black rod towards the footboard. So I finally now discovered that I put that little end piece upside down, and it makes a big difference because of where the screws are placed for that metal rod to lock in. They're higher up, obviously. So once I fixed that, the bed was good to go. So now that I had my little operator mistakes fixed out, the bed was totally assembled, and it's so pretty, and I was excited to put the mattress on it and get it set up. This is a mattress that I already had, and it measures 76 inches, and it's just a little bit short for this frame. So if you were going to be buying a twin mattress for this bed, I would definitely go with something just a little bit longer than this. And since it is a platform bed, it's meant to not be used with a box spring. So if you're buying a mattress for this bed, I would suggest getting a thicker style mattress versus a thinner style. If you found this video helpful and you liked it, I would love if you could like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out with creating more videos just like this one. I think I should provide more of a detailed or less detailed video for the next one that I do. Let me know in the comments below, and I'd also love to know if you have this bed frame and if you've tried it out.